How are you feeling about climate change, and how are those feelings influencing your actions? Thanks for joining me in conversations with leaders who are engaging with their feelings as a leadership tool for both inspiration and motivation. Today I'm speaking with Dario Presezzi, founder of Bioforcetech Corporation. Dario started the company with sustainability in mind and realized along the way what a valuable contribution he could make to solving the climate crisis. You will love his story. And now for the conversation. Today I'm speaking with Dario Presezzi, CEO of Bioforcetech Corporation. Dario's mission is to reduce carbon emissions in the human waste cycle. Yes, we're talking about lowering emissions and sequestering carbon from city sewage. Dario has been on this mission for nearly 10 years now and has made remarkable progress, leading to a number of fascinating, innovative products. I'm eager to hear his story about how he came to pursue this important piece of the climate puzzle. Dario, thank you so much for joining me today. Welcome.
Hi, Matt. Yeah, thank you for having me here.
Yeah, I'm just delighted to be talking to you about this. So I want to just start off and touch base and find out how you're feeling about climate change now. You've been in this space for 10 years, but how are you feeling now?
I have, I have, but I always also have just happened to be in it. And one way it's because like when we started, we were more like a sustainability problem. How do we deal with waste and why are we using, like, why are we throwing away when there's a lot of resources in it? But then during the process, because that was 10 years ago and the climate problem was definitely there, but not as much as now. So I ended up in it. And that was about halfway through the journey when we found out that when we created this process to be sustainable waste management, we were also sequestering carbon. And then the climate change situation got, more and more intense. And so had started to feeling a lot of feelings about climate change because of that, because we're into the world, and then found out that our mission it's more towards helping the climate crisis rather than just a waste management issue, right?
Right, right. So it was just kind of serendipitous that you happened to be in that space. So you actually had those feelings start to come in, even after you were already kind of working on it.
Yes, yes,
And
absolutely.
and if I may, I know a lot of people cycle through a number of different emotions and feelings as they're going through this. What are some of the experiences, like specific feelings that you've had and how you've managed to process those?
Yeah, I mean, definitely roller coaster of emotions is 100% accurate on this type of feelings for climate change, but it goes from little like almost desperation and like want to give up because you're working so much on this project on problems, only if there is a lot of people that don't care, right? That's what I see. When there's a lot of people that don't care, but you're working so hard towards it, especially trying to educate them, but then you have doors slammed in your face because they don't feel the same thing, even though it's very real, it's very happening, and the work that we're doing is very important. That's where you feel bad. Then when there's a lot of people around you or people you work with that want to take real action, they know what the solutions are and they're very passionate about it, then you feel much better. So it goes from complete opposites, right? That where we can really do it because human beings are so resilient, we're geniuses. We used it in a wrong way, let's use it in the right way now. So yeah, it's a roller coaster that goes everywhere, but it depends on the night, let's say. But in the last period, especially the last few months, it's been so much better because of all
Great.
and everybody
Great.
working on it.
Yeah. So yeah, it sounds like it goes, I like the words you use. So from desperation to joy, depending on the day almost. That's almost sounds like a startup, any startup, but
It does sound like any startup. It just adds, like, other than the financial problem, where usually a CEO, it's like, oh, my responsibility is only to make money.
yeah.
It changed quite a bit because I have the responsibility to make money, obviously, to make my startup successful.
Yeah.
But if we don't have a great impact in solving this problem, then we're also failing.
Right.
So there's like two standards that we need to meet.
Right. Oh, that is brilliant. Yeah. Yeah. It really is. It's almost like an emotion amplifier on top of an already, hypercharged environment of being in a startup. Well, so how are your feelings about climate then, influencing your direction as a leader now?
Yeah, so likely in my company, there's everybody that is working at Bioforcetech has passion for solving the climate crisis. So it's much easier for me because like as soon as you keep this vision on, then everybody in the company, keep it on with you and like help us to bring it forward. But for everybody else is like, what I've seen is since there's the financial situation and the climate situation, as long as we keep working towards our goal without compromises, I think that's the leading lights that we can give. So my team always like work with that vision, and we never, again, get compromises, even if it can give us more money to grow. And that's something that I think it's an important lesson for everybody else. So it's like there's easy way to make money and then creating issues. We're trying to solving issues by also making money. And so point is like keep resilient and like keep going towards our goals of sustainability without looking at what's happening around. Right. And that's what we've seen being like, we don't really go out and like try to make speeches about climate change, but like we know what our problem is, and we said we're going to solve it 100% with all these goals and sustainability goals, and no matter what. And I think that inspired so many other in our industry to then do the same because they see it's kind of working. It's
right.
It's leading to real change. So
right. Well, just a couple of questions there. So I think that's great that your team is so passionate about solving the climate crisis. Now, when you're recruiting team members, are you specifically looking for that, or is it the opposite? People passionate about solving the climate crisis are just coming to you.
They're usually coming to us.
Okay.
At the same time, there's a lot of people also that wants to apply for job positions that don't really care about it, and that it's kind of a priority for us. So if you don't have that passion, you're going to have such a hard time working at our company because it's hard to raise a startup. And again, because it's hard because there's multiple goals. And we have a lot of, like every startup, like you have so many doors slammed in your face. If you can't take all those punches, there's no way you can get through it if you don't really have the cause in your heart. So
right, the greater purpose and the greater mission to kind of get you through.
Yeah, it needs to be there.
Right. Yeah, that's great. And so the other thing is you were just well positioned to essentially become a company focused on solving the climate crisis, even though that wasn't necessarily how you started. Do you see that maybe happening with other companies as well, that they will end up realizing that, oh, we can be a part of the solution, and we can kind of shift our mission and our purpose and our focus towards solving that as seamlessly as you've seemed to have done?
I think like other than a few examples that might be a little bit impossible for them to do it, but I would say 99% of the companies today, it's true.
They could do that, right?
I'm making shoes today. I could make shoes in a way like the least expensive, the more cool, and like just sell them at the highest price, right? That's what it was before.
Right.
If I'm making shoes now, and I'm like, wait, but if I use a rubber that it's made from, a sustainable source, and I do that, and I combine all this together, actually my shoes could be a solution for, and that's one, and then tables, and then building houses, and so on and so on. So every company needs to be part of the solution. Like it's not really a question if they should do it, they need to do it, but also, they all have the opportunity to become a company that do that.
Yeah.
We specifically maybe draw down carbons, but other company could save 90% of carbon, or
Right.
energy there, or like using sustainable practices. So
Right.
absolutely.
And then use their influence, to help, others
Yeah.
also do that, both their clients, their supply chain, and peer companies in their industry group.
Yeah. I mean, I have another quick example. I opened a pizza company in Palo Alto. I completely separated, but like concept is when we were making packaging, we went in supermarkets, and every single supermarket have every single packaging you could find, it was 100% plastic.
Right.
And so we were very confused, because like, I want to make a sustainable package for pizza. It was a journey of about 8 months just to find a way to make it available for the market, that can be placed in a supermarket safely, but be sustainable. It was hard, but now we have a compostable tray that can be put in the oven with compostable film on top of it, so it keeps fresh and everything, but it is completely compostable.
Oh, wow.
So it's something that if we do it as the little pizza company, then the other company around will be like, oh, but wait, so there is a solution for that.
Right.
We can actually
Well,
do
please tell me what's the name of your pizza, because I want to go out and get some.
it. It's called Pizzone.
Pizzone. Okay. All right. I love that. Sustainable pizza.
Yeah, exactly. But it's just one example, right? Like, who would think that a pizza company could make a difference? But
Right. Yeah.
but
Because it's mind-boggling how much plastic goes through the food system, and I am so glad you're thinking about that, and thinking about setting an example for sustainable packaging as well. Thank you so much for doing that.
yeah.
So I want to ask you, what advice would you give to leaders and aspiring leaders who are themselves starting to have feelings about the climate?
Mhm. I would say, so one thing that I've seen when you talk about climate with people is like, even if they want to do something and they understand the problem, and we're still talking about maybe a small percentage, but even if you're there, it's hard to know what to do, right? Because they say, oh, but if I recycle, I'm fine, that kind of stuff. I would say just look at what's all the nice projects that are out there. Pick what it's closer to you, or maybe in the field that you work with, or a new job that you're inspiring to, and just follow those leaders as much as possible. Like, give as much support that you can to that, and then once you're in the sustainable world, then you can understand if you have some other inputs that you can give and stuff like that. But it is a battle, it is a challenge, and we humans love challenges, so we should take it on. Once you realize that it's very real and we need to do it, and I think more and more people realize that, then there's just so many things you can do about it. It's
Right.
just unlimited.
Right.
So pick
Right.
whatever you're most passionate about, like it was before, and then you make money out of it. Here you can make money and also solve the problem. So
Yeah.
that's what I would say. Just
Yeah.
pick somebody or like some cause that's the most passionate to you, and there's for sure sustainability issues in there. So
Yes. Yes.
yes.
Yeah. Yeah. Essentially, follow your heart.
Follow your heart.
Follow your heart. That is such great advice, Dario. Well, thank you so much for sharing, your experiences and your feelings about the climate, and your stories. And of course, I wish you the best success with your company, and I hope that you can come back in the future and share more about your journey through this climate space, navigating it, both the financial side, but also that emotional side.
Yeah, it would be my pleasure.
Okay,
All
thank
right,
you
thank
so
you so much.
much. Thanks for watching. I found it fascinating how Dario started to have stronger feelings about the climate crisis 5 years after he started his company, and how his feelings just impassioned him all that much more to make his company successful. For aspiring leaders, Dario suggests that you can pick a company focusing on solving the climate crisis, and as you go through that emotional roller coaster of the climate change, you will be in a great position to channel those emotions into healthy action that will move us forward to a more sustainable world. If you found this conversation helpful, please click on the thumbs up button and subscribe to the channel to get notifications on future episodes. If you have any questions, please leave them in the comments section and I'll respond as soon as I can. Thanks again.